Hey Soul Family, I hope you're well. Thank you so much for watching this video. So this specific reading are for placements associated with Taurus, and also cross-watchers, of course, are welcome. So let's get on with your reading, Taurus. I'm hearing human nature, maybe like the band Human Nature. Maybe there's a song you like called Human Nature. I think Michael Jackson sang a song. You feel like you are soaring high. Everything you listen to and hear now is on a completely different wavelength as to what it was before. Looking at human beings sometimes scares you, and it makes you question everything. That's for some of you. You might be interested in psychology as well, and the human psyche. The dates I've also channeled for this month for you are the 15th, the 27th of this month that you're watching this reading in, going into the 3rd of the following month, and also the 31st. November 4th might be important for you as well. The following names I channeled for you were Ariel, John, Rudy, Hendrix, Jason, Dean, Kravitz, David and Kelly. You may also be eating olives. You may like olives. I'm also hearing chili and garlic. You prefer savoury flavours, cheesy flavours, not too cheesy, but it has to be a savoury cheese, so perhaps like crackers or something along those lines, but you prefer those types of flavours rather than sweet. Been shown casinos, gambling. Maybe you or someone around you likes to gamble, slot machines, those types of things. Big cities, big lights, city lights. Maybe listen to a song which talks about city lights. I've been shown very high rise buildings. I'm hearing Sin City. I've been shown Munich as well. A lot of spices, so you might be somebody that loves their chili or very spicy food. You may like Mexican food as well, and jalapenos. As I mentioned earlier, looking at human nature. Some of you may like psychology or are interested in that area. You may work as a psychologist or be studying psychology, sociology, social sciences. You may have worked at night as well. You may be a night worker, do night shifts at a hotel, for example. You prefer working at night. You feel like you get more done. You're not as disturbed during the night as you are during the day by others. You also use the night to reflect quite a lot. I'm hearing Set Fire to the Rain and Breakaway. So those could be songs that you've listened to recently, or it may just be something that you need to do. I'm also hearing Fly Away, so that could be linked with Kravitz. We did get that name channeled earlier on. On a personal level, there is fast-moving energy. So I was shown casinos and gambling earlier. That's a lot of high, fast-paced energy, fast-moving energy. So that's what I'm getting for you. There's something coming in within 18 days for you on a personal level. There's a cycle from 2018 that is ending for you. You're not going to see this change coming. You've been so used to seeing stagnancy and just nothing moving at all that when this change happens within 18 days, all of a sudden, everything shifts. Some of you have had problems sleeping as well. Some of you have just been up late all the time because you've been constantly working. Any energy that you have, some of you have excess energy, and that's the reason why you're having problems sleeping. You need to channel this into something new. Something creative I'm hearing as well. Creativity isn't always painting, writing, drawing. You could also be a baker. You may be interested in experimenting with different types of foods. Maybe you watch that chef, I can't remember his name. He works with science quite heavily in his food to create crazy recipes. Maybe someone that creates, say for example, you baked a cake which is a strawberry shape, and psychologically you think, oh, it looks like a strawberry, it's probably going to taste of a strawberry flavour. But then when you cut into it, it tastes completely savoury. It's one of those types of things that I'm picking up. Some of you like basketball, or someone around you likes basketball, or the NBA. You like to go out in nature, walk in the park, go for a run, gardening. You may be meeting someone very important whilst you're out and about. Some of you may be walking in a park, or you may be walking in an environment where there are trees when you meet someone very, very important. It could be a botanical centre of some sort. Maybe like Kew Gardens, something along those lines. Spirit also said there were two friends they are no longer two friends. There's been a break. So you could have had this could be you or someone around you. There were two people in the dynamic. They had a strong friendship or a strong connection. They broke up. It's been 8 years. There was a group that was sabotaged because of this, but there's a change that's happening. And in the next 7 months, there is something significant changing in your social groups or the person's social groups and networks, whoever's going through this or has gone through this. So someone may have been in a social dynamic, say for 8 years, for example. These could have been people I went to school with, university with, worked with. They were very tight-knit. Something happened in the dynamic and the group disbanded. So either two friends broke away from that group, or it was just between two friends and they broke up and the group was kind of broken away. But something that happened associated with that is going to come up again in 7 months' time from the moment you watch this video. Something significant. So you may come across somebody from the previous group. You may hear something about the person from your past with this group through somebody else. You may see a social media post, or like I said, bump into someone. But there will be something that happens. And there is a change in social groups and networks. So 7 months from now, there will be more stability and grounding. So you'll get the information from the past, but whilst that's happening simultaneously, you would already shifted, or the person that this is about would have already shifted into a new dynamic. So everything's completely cut by that point. So it's like letting go of the old, moving into the new, and that's it. And again, there's an assessment of human nature and assessing how that group dynamic was before and how it shifted the person's life going forward. You might be into 70s and 80s music. I'm hearing Bucks Fizz. I'm hearing Queen. I'm hearing Meatloaf. The breakup of the friends. You may be thinking about this situation still. There could have been 6 of you in this dynamic. Perhaps you all worked together or you lived very close by to each other. And there were arguments that happened. I also picked up that some of you have had problems sleeping, so that could just also be general anxiety and stress because you're constantly working. And because you're constantly working, you're trying to gain your pentacles, your 9 of pentacles, but you're thinking, how am I going to keep doing it? It's stressing me out too much. I'm always working and I can't switch off when I'm always working, and it's just, too much. You're thinking, I need to find a way to get the balance, but I can't because I'm trying to stop thinking about this, but I'm thinking even more. So it's keeping me awake and I can't rest and I can't switch off. For some of you, reflection, people of the past. 5 could be relevant to you. 5 obviously associated with change. 12 could also be relevant. Something could have happened 12 months ago, 12 weeks ago, on the 12th of the month. Or something can happen in December of the year that you're watching this in terms of reflection and getting the information that you need. With all this stress that's going on with you, you are praying and praying and praying for a miracle. How is my life going to change? How am I going to sort this out? What can I do to get rid of all this stress? I can't get any sleep. Perhaps some of you have had a newborn baby in the family. Congratulations if that's the case. Maybe some of you are overwhelmed with responsibilities. You are the child. Now you're the adult and you have to take care of the child. That may be literal. It could mean that you're just handling younger people around you. You've had to come across a lot of children that have been in unfortunate circumstances. Yeah. If that's the case, my heart is with you. I've worked in the social field, so I know how difficult it can be. That definitely caused me some restless nights. I'm also hearing diamond in the rough. So perhaps you're somebody that fosters children and they just need some guidance and you're worried about how you're going to give them the right guidance. Are you suitable for the job? But you are. Handle everything with grace and dignity and light and happiness and joy. Communicate clearly and listen. It will take time, but it will happen. Some of you have gone through some tumultuous times in your past and you have a story to tell. And the only way you're going to get rid of this is to get it out of your system. Some of you might be actors. And your craft is your therapy, and you're helping people out there. Perhaps you just had an audition for a very difficult role and you got the part, but it's been really difficult. And you're thinking, how am I going to play this part? Links with India. You might be praying to archangels Gabriel, Metatron, or Shamiel. You may know someone of Asian descent with the name Sham in their name. The Golden Triangle may be of importance to you, or your family heritage, or the Middle East. I'm seeing being drawn to the dome. A memorial, something to dedicate them with. I'm being shown a statue of somebody. I'm being shown benches that have been placed in parks and seasides. I'm being shown trees being planted in people's names that have passed on. You may have also visited a spiritual place or a war memorial of some sort. Yep, I'm just getting double confirmation. I just heard some birds outside, so I take that as confirmation that you may have visited a war memorial. And that could be it. You visited a war memorial recently, or something linked with conflict of some kind, and you're reflecting on what's happened, and you can't sleep because you're too overwhelmed with the fighting that went on, the stress that went on. Shine from within. Be looking at the past, healing your inner child. Maybe that's where the healing's coming in. That's where the miracle's coming in. Whatever's happened in the past or something associated with childhood. Once that's healed, a magical gateway will open for you. It will create courage. The peace will come. Yep, you're going through a transformation. So this stress that you're going through, it's all part of the changes that you're going through. We did get in the channeled messages though. We did get in the channeled messages about the dynamic of the friendships breaking up. So the transformation could be healing from that traumatic experience that occurred. The people in the dynamic could have been people from all, I'm hearing backgrounds and cultures, shapes and sizes, ethnicities, or with different types of hobbies, very, very different characters, but together the dynamic just worked. And that's what's made you so broken inside. How could this happen? But that's okay because that's gone now, that was in the past, or this is the recent past and you're healing from it still. But all I can say is that 7 is prevalent, and I did hear that in the next 7 months there will be significant change in social groups. So you may find your soul tribe, your real soul tribe. The people from your past may come back. You must set strong boundaries. Although this says boundaries, for some reason this shuffled into my brain as diary. There could have been a book that was involved, a diary of some sort perhaps, where someone had put a lot of their emotions and thoughts into it, and then someone had taken the diary and revealed all these inner secrets, and that's what caused chaos and pain. And arguments and sorrow. But don't worry, things are shifting. You're in Leo season, you've set up your boundaries, you've meditated, you've reflected a lot, or you're trying to at least. At least you're trying. There are many people that don't do any form of self-reflection, but be proud of yourself because you're doing that. But it does get heavy sometimes, and that's okay. Do not bear the burden of the world. Human nature is complicated as it is. You are deep thinkers. I know human nature is complicated, especially when you work in certain environments where you see the true colours of some individuals and you think, how could they do that to their family? So you may not just work some of you may work as psychologists or in the social services arenas, but some of you may also work in regulation, emergency rooms, that type of thing, where you see the not so nice side of human nature, which makes you question everything. But you need to lighten your load. Don't take your work home. Focus on the light and let that light become a part of you. Take that stress off you. You must find a way to heal yourself. You are going through transformation, and that is heavy stuff, and that's okay. You don't need to worry. It takes time. It really does take time. Some of you, you've gone through this transformation. It's taken 9 years. Some of you 9 months, but some of you 9 years. You're coming to the end of it now. Some of you 11 months or even 11 years. 11 weeks for some lucky ones. But yes, lighten your load. Once you cut the dead weight, cut your cords, set your boundaries, and moving forward. Okay, Taurus, on that note, I'm going to leave you to it. And remember, there are good things to come. You will be celebrating because that magical gateway is almost here. Shine from within. Thank you so much, Taurus. Have a good one. Take care. Goodbye.